Hi, my name is Brianne Corcoran,
My name is Ben Biskra.
and we're going to be so awkward while doing this, and I'm so sorry, but thanks for hanging in there. I grew up on Long Island, and after going to college, I lived in New York City for 8 years. Ben and I moved out to France for a year, and just a couple years ago, we ended up in Connecticut. We are just outside of New York City, so I feel like we get the best of both worlds, the woods in Connecticut and all that the city has to offer.
I was born in France. My family I grew up in the south of France. And my parents, my stepdad and my mom moved to California when I was 12 years old. And so I grew up there, went to middle school and high school there. It was fun, a lot of outdoor activities. Learned to mountain bike and to surf, and then went to college in Boston, and then I started working in New York in 2012.
Yeah, so actually he touched on a couple of things that we should mention. We're both really close to our families, and we love spending time with our families. I grew up with a big family that got together every Sunday for pasta dinner. My family is Irish, so we're not great cooks. But they thought their pasta was okay. It was okay. Lots of board games growing up, and we'd go skiing together, hiking together to the beach. It was just really special, and that's something that we're looking to recreate with our own family, and that's something that we're both really looking forward to. Some of my hobbies are not as exciting as Ben's. I'm a big reader. I write a lot. I love photography, not very good, kind of like my mom's pasta sauce. And what else do I like to do? We really like board games.
We like to go on hikes.
We do. We really like to go on hikes. And I used to ski. I used to snowboard. Not so much anymore. I think I had a bad experience. But I like to go and sit by the fire and read when Ben goes skiing.
Yeah. And my family we always had dinner pretty much every night together growing up. So, family values are very important.
Very important. And we're really lucky because while not all of our family is close, we do have family pretty close and within driving distance. My grandparents, aunts and uncles, and cousins are all still on Long Island or in New York. My sister just moved to Connecticut as well. And her husband, they have a little one on the way. So hopefully cousins can be close in age. I think that would be really special for us.
Absolutely. Should we talk? I was working at a bank for a while. Brianne was working at a different one, and you started working where I worked. And we sat back to back, and we started. Initially, I didn't like you.
Oh yeah, you could tell. It was a little cold. But that's because I took some of his clients without realizing it. It wasn't an auspicious start, let's just say. But I wound up going through a really hard time in my life, and Ben really came out of the woodwork and was such a good, true friend through it all. And our relationship really bloomed from that, and I think that was really special, and I so appreciate that because it was really the beginning of my health issues, and I felt really, really scared and lost and lonely.
Yeah, and so that started in 2019, and we got married in
2020.
2020.
Yeah, so it's been 4 years. We just celebrated our 4th year anniversary. I feel like we've done so much in that time. We lived in France for a year. We survived COVID, like you did. We lived in the backwoods of Vermont for COVID, and we had so much fun. Daily hikes, chopping wood. I know that doesn't sound fun, but there's something like really good about hard labor and feeling like you accomplished something.
Not about fun, but we learn new skills.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So now I no longer work in finance, but upon moving back from France in 2021, I started my own college consulting business, and it was slow at first, but this year it's really taken off, and I'm so proud of it. I love working with these kids. they're idealistic and excited and passionate, and they're all ready to change the world. They're also not jaded by the world yet, and I just think it's this really cool dynamic to help them achieve their dreams and get clear on what their goals are. So that has been a lot of fun. Because students are in school and overly subscribed to activities these days, I wind up meeting them at night. So I am around and home most of the day, which would be great for a future kid. And when Ben comes home, he can take care of our future little one when I'm on student calls. But beyond my business, I just wrote a comedic mystery that I'm trying to get published. Fingers crossed. It'd be really nice to see that book in Barnes & Noble. But I don't know if you're a big reader. We both are. But it's kind of like the Thursday Murder Club, which we both loved. Hopefully you would love this.
And I still work in finance. I don't work for a bank, but I work for a small finance company of 50 people where all of us know each other, all of us get along, and it's almost like a small family of its own. I wish I had my own business and didn't have a boss, but maybe one day.
Maybe one day. We can do that together.
Yeah. So that leads us to why we're doing surrogacy.
Oh, yes. Yes, important information for you to probably have. I was diagnosed with fibroids, and it wasn't a problem until I got pregnant in 2018. And this is before Ben and I met, but there were problems with the pregnancy almost immediately. And they being the doctors, monitored the heartbeat for a couple of weeks, and just when we thought that I was turning a corner and the baby was turning a corner, I miscarried into my second trimester, and there was no conclusive evidence of what happened, and as we all know, it could have been anything, but my fibroids had grown out of control. One of them during pregnancy had grown to like 20 centimeters. So you probably don't need this information, but it was traumatic for me. I needed to have a laparoscopic myomectomy in March of 2019, and that really started a series of surgeries that I needed to have to manage these fibroids. Every time we thought we got rid of them, they came back. I was in a lot of pain. I was losing a lot of blood. And the next few years were really, really challenging. And when we moved back to the States, we finally thought we had them under control, and they just weren't. We did 3 rounds of IVF, and every round of IVF, they grew more and more, and it was really painful to the point I couldn't sleep on my stomach. I could feel them in there, which is a bizarre feeling. And yeah, even the IVF rounds were traumatic. We didn't get embryos until our final and 3rd round, and we did 1 transfer, it failed, and ultimately I just felt like I had to call it. Emotionally, I was wiped. It was taking a lot out of both of us. So I went back to my OBGYN crying and told her I wanted a hysterectomy, and she told me she thought it was the right plan of action for me. And then I cried some more because I felt like I finally had permission and someone was seeing all of this pain that I was in. So Ben has been so supportive through all of this, and I had the surgery last September, and it has been like the best year of my life. Like, I've never felt better. Rebirth. Ben has a new wife. It's great. But now that I'm feeling good and I'm feeling positive, we both feel like this is the right time to start trying to build our family again. And we're really excited that you could be part of it.
And that's really what we're looking for, right?
Yeah, we don't want this to be a transaction. This is someone who's helping us grow our family, so we consider you part of our family.
Yeah. We're hoping to stay in touch and be involved with each other and each other's lives for a long time.
Yeah. I promise we won't be in your hair if you don't want us to. I think we're pretty low-key people in general, but we would love to have a relationship with you and be there for some of the big milestone moments and be able to share their life milestone moments with you later on.
That's it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for this very selfless act that you're doing. We are beyond grateful, and
Thank you.
yeah, we feel very blessed that we have the opportunity to get matched with someone like you. So thank you.